Hello friends, this is Suzannah and welcome to my channel, Grace Homemaking. Today I'm going to be making homemade Panda Express beef and broccoli, and this is my first time making it, so I'm not an expert, but have you ever just driven through town, driven past a Panda Express and said, I really want to buy the beef and broccoli, but it's $8. And then you think about it, and then you decide to do it, and then you take the wrong turn and you go home. Well, that's what happened to me. And I decided several days later to just go ahead and buy every single ingredient, pretty much. So there you see all my sauces on the counter. Obviously, it's not the most budget friendly to start a recipe with like having to buy 4 sauces, but the funny thing is this asked for oyster sauce, and I had that in my cupboard for like weeks and weeks because my dad gave it to me and I didn't know what to do with it. I was scared of it. So when I saw this recipe needed oyster sauce, I was like, yes, I finally know what to do. It turns out my oyster sauce is vegetarian and there's no oysters, and it does not taste like fish, so it was really good. It's basically like soy sauce with sugar. So I'm chopping up 2 heads of broccoli. Yes, I'm chopping up the stem and peeling it. I just learned this one day later in life that you can eat broccoli stems, but you have to peel them because it's like really woody and tough. I don't know, am I the only one that does this, or does everyone do this? It's like, I'm sure there's still some calories inside the stem, so you're getting something from it. I'm chopping up some garlic and then going to grate some ginger. And this recipe, I just looked it up on YouTube, and I did not watch a 16-minute video like this. I watched a 2-minute video, and I'm going to link that in my description so you can find it if you want the like really practical, helpful, quick video. And she also has a recipe which I used, and I'll link her recipe. I can't remember the name right now of that website, but as soon as you start chopping the garlic and grating the ginger, everything smells good, and I was motivated to keep going. I found that stir fry, I'm realizing, is all prep. Chopping vegetables, chopping the meat, cooking the noodles. I actually learned that a little bit too late. I didn't start cooking the noodles till everything was almost done. And all the prep work, and then once you have everything chopped, which you probably could do in the morning or even the day before if you need to, then just stir frying it is a pretty quick process actually. So this is my first time using this dowel to sharpen my knife, but I've had it for a couple years and it did get a little dull. I was kind of afraid of chopping through the meat. If anyone's a professional at this, they might be cringing. I didn't really look at a tutorial or anything. I just kind of remembered my dad said it should be about a 20-degree angle. You don't want to make it too sharp or it will break more easily. And so I just did like 4 strokes on each side, and it really cut through the steak like butter. I don't know if it's my sharpening skills or if it's just the steak. I'm not used to buying steak. Maybe that's how steak is. It's $15 for like just under a pound. So that's why I'm not used to buying it. I think I'm just confused. It said cut across the grain. I'm like, what's the grain? It's cutting really nicely though, in case that doesn't show. That was really nice and enjoyable. So the sauces I'm going to use are soy sauce, oyster sauce, which is, soy sauce is the first ingredient. It also has sugar and like mushroom, and it's thicker. Then hoisin sauce, which is like made from plums and very sweet. And also sesame oil, and that's what really made it taste delicious and special. Sorry, my kid's playing with some Legos over there. I wanted you to hear the sound, but I guess maybe my mic was off when I was filming, so you don't get to hear all the chopping and sizzling and screaming and yelling and my ambiance in my home. But there's some ambiance right here. So this recipe calls for like sprinkling cornstarch on your meat. I didn't have any cornstarch, so I used flour. Then there's also some either flour or cornstarch in the sauce. I thought, oh yeah, it was cornstarch and water in the sauce. I didn't have it, so I thought I'll mix flour and with the oil first. It turns out there's not quite enough oil to really do that, so mine turned out kind of chunky. I'm not sure the best way to substitute flour. All my cornstarch is in the bathroom because I put it in my hair for dry shampoo, so I guess I need to get some more. If you're not used to cooking with sesame oil, it might seem too strong or gross. I think I thought that one time when I tried it. But there's only 2 teaspoons in the whole recipe, and so just that little bit goes a long way and gives it this nice toasty, nutty sesame flavor. So I'm adding a 1/4 cup oyster sauce and a 1/4 cup soy sauce. I told my mom that and she panicked. She's like, you don't need to add that much. It's pretty salty. And there was some leftover sauce, like more sauce at the end. So maybe you could survive with less, but I thought it was very yummy. The whole thing was so flavorful and yummy, so it's up to you what you want. That's the hoisin sauce. Yeah, it's like a syrup, like a fruity syrup. And it asks for brown sugar. I'm just doing my raw sugar. It's kind of a slow-paced video, so I do apologize if you find this boring, but I kind of intend to enjoy slower videos. I think like speeding everything up can be kind of stressful, and also makes me feel like, wow, I'm failing at life because I can't do everything in double time. So nothing in this video is going to be double time, but I did try and chop out a lot so that it wouldn't be just ongoing stirring or dishes. I'm having a coffee break. I am starting to feel a little tired. This took me a while, definitely over an hour altogether, but I'm slow. It won't take most people that long. Okay, steamed my broccoli already, I guess. And I'm cooking for my husband and my 2 kids. They're like 1 and 2, so it was tricky. It's like I want it soft, not too soft. I decided to make it mostly soft and just chop theirs up later. And I just plopped some coconut oil. I'm not sure what the recipe asked for. I thought maybe I should have done more because the meat started cooking. So now I'm back at the broccoli steamed on high heat with some water in the bottom and the lid. The meat's supposed to be cooked more medium and it will sizzle, so I used like a little mesh screen. You're supposed to have the meat cooked on like a single layer, so that's what I'm trying to do, is spread it out, and it really only cooks for like 1 minute and then you stir it and then 1 minute. That's what it says anyways. Mine probably cooked longer. It's such a tender like cut, I guess, that it doesn't really matter. You can cook it a little bit more. And now we're adding all the broccoli after the meat's cooked for like probably 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know, it said just 1 pound of meat and 1 pound of broccoli. I did 2 heads, so maybe I did more, but it didn't feel like too much. And broccoli's cheaper per pound, right? Now I'm sprinkling in garlic and ginger. So these are going in towards the end, so the garlic doesn't get burnt and bitter tasting. And now I'm going to add that lovely sauce. One of the other ingredients is rice vinegar, which I didn't buy. I just used white vinegar. This is a 3-quart saute pan. Seems to all fit. Except for a little occasional broccoli. But this was so fun to make. It took me a while, but it was so fun. And overall, it seemed like so much healthier than Panda. We got more food, I felt like, for our dollar than if I had bought like 4 beef and broccoli bowls or even 3 to split the ones with the little kids. And there were leftovers. I had leftovers for lunch the next day. And I was nibbling on it constantly. I didn't film that, but so if you have stuff stick to your pan while you're cooking just the meat, it's okay, because once you get the sauce up to a boil, you can kind of scratch it off again. And I didn't have too much trouble really cleaning the pan at the end. There's dishes involved. Part of prepping and cutting everything ahead of time, you have all these dishes. So part of the prep is noodles, which I didn't do because it wasn't in the recipe, so I forgot. So I started cooking some angel hair rice noodles, which are probably not ideal for stir fry, because I tried to stir fry them and they got mushy. But they did taste really good. But if you want to actually stir fry your noodles, I guess you should get the thicker kinds, like stir fry noodles, or I've heard even spaghetti noodles are fine. One tip I read was that your stir fry noodles should be very dry. So like shake off all that water. That's what I'm doing. Looks like I'm getting it everywhere. And that's it. I'm just serving it onto plates. You can see how the rice kind of the noodles got kind of mushy. I added some sauce to help. But yeah, those got a little mushy. They're very thin. They're very good though. I'm curious to know what kind of stir fry recipes you have done at home, and if you've done a beef and broccoli or anything else, what recipes worked out well, what makes it easier to do at home. I just really love Panda Express. I don't like paying for it though, so anything at home is kind of, I'm interested in that homemade fast food. And there was so much juice again. It's don't forget to scoop that on to your plates. And I found that the broccoli stems were not gross or anything. They tasted just fine. And the recipe says to top it with sesame seeds, and I happen to have those. I'm chopping up my kids' stuff. I realized this would have been better in the blender, because I haven't been good about feeding them, green food. The broccoli was a little challenging for my toddler, and I think the smaller it is, the better. But here I am, just chopping it. And overall, they ate it in the end. most of it, so they liked the noodles. And the broccoli was so sweet, really. It's like any kid should like it, I would think. And some sesame seeds for the kids too. And we're done. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it inspired you to try something fun and different in the kitchen. Just let me know in the comments below what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Bye.